Hey guys, welcome back to the Hot Take, and today's topic is definitely going to be a fun one, as I bring on two guests onto the podcast. First, we have one of my good friends, Jayla Rogers. Hey guys, I'm super excited to be here and argue one of my favorite topics. Also joining us will be Scarlett Canders, a zookeeper at the Philadelphia Zoo and has been working with animals almost her whole life. Alright, so now that we're all introduced, let's get into today's topic, the concept of zoos, which we know have long remained an accepted and popular attraction for centuries, offering the public the opportunity to observe exotic animals up close. The question of whether animals should be placed in zoos has brought a debate. So Jayla, my question for you is, how do zoos impact the lives of animals? Well, animals in cages are deprived of their natural behaviors that they would exhibit in their native habitat by being kept in often small enclosures that restricts their movement. Many species have complex dynamics and rely on specific environments and interactions for their overall well-being. According to NBC News, there was a study done on 40 chimpanzees at 6 zoos in the US and the UK, and then compared with wild chimps in Uganda. All 40 zoo chimps displayed some form of abnormal behavior, such as poking at their own eyes, banging themselves against surfaces, pulling out their hair, pacing, drinking urine, and doing other things not associated with the wild chimpanzee population. All of the study chimps were also kept in what were often considered the best captive conditions. This suggests that chimpanzees and other wild animals should either be released from the bars of a zoo or placed at sanctuaries where they would be cared for more carefully rather than a common zoo, if they can't survive on their own in the wild. Wow, that's a really strong point you got there. How about conservation efforts that zoos are making, though? Aren't they just trying to help give the animals a better life? Not necessarily. Many zoos use their conservation efforts as a marketing tool to attract visitors and therefore collect more profit. For example, World Animal Protection's 2019 report Behind the Smile noted that the SeaWorld and the Busch Garden Conservation Fund claims to have donated over $17 million to conservation causes since 2003. While that sounds like an impressively big number, it only represents just 3.2% of their annual profit, meaning there's a lot more money that could be spent on broader conservation movements and put towards protecting animals that are most at risk. That's interesting. I would have never known about that. Your argument seems hard to top. Now I'd like to hear from you, Scarlett. With your background expertise, what are your thoughts on this topic and some possible counter-arguments you have for Jayla here? I noticed you didn't bring any notes with you. Well, of course I don't need notes because I've got everything up here. Zoos play quite a significant role in wildlife conservation, education, and research. Zoos serve not only as a home, but also a safe place for endangered species and as a resource for scientists and the public. According to wildwelfare.org, there are a number of animals that have been breeded by zoos that have a better chance of surviving, including the blue-crowned laughing thrush, the white-clawed crayfish, the Amur leopard, the plowshare tortoise, and the list goes on. Without zoos, these animals would die off and ultimately become extinct. So it's not true that zoos are solely there for the purpose of entertainment. They actively help breed, support, and even reintroduce threatened species back into the wild. So really, what's your argument? Not so fast. While it's true that zoos may help breed endangered species, most animals held captive at zoos are not endangered or threatened in the wild at all. According to World Animal Protection, an evaluation of 13 of the most progressive zoos found that the zoos kept only 3.5% of all animal species assessed for inclusion on the IUCN Red List, and kept nearly twice as many animal species of least concern as they kept animal species that are threatened. It's true. I visited the Philadelphia Zoo last weekend, and the main enclosures were all commonly found wild animals, like giraffes, tigers, and rhinos. Okay, so what about zoos helping scientists and students get more educated about animal behaviors and their environments? The best way to learn about animals and their natural behaviors is by observing them in their natural habitat, in the wild. Sanctuaries are much safer than zoos, as they prioritize animal welfare heavily over profits and educate the public on animal rights. Zoo-born animals don't usually get released into the wild as they won't be able to survive and will be in danger. However, according to the University of Indianapolis, animals have limited human interaction at sanctuaries, which is beneficial for them, and there is a possibility of animals getting re-released if they are able to. Sanctuaries also do not breed animals, which shows their dedication to the actual animals instead of for commercial purposes or public display. Well guys, that was a great argument, and I sure learned some things about zoos today. And of course, I'll see you on my next episode of Hot Take. Bye!